What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling like the SPY, the Qs, pretty much any stock besides oil. Hope you guys are feeling good, doing good. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. We got Bill. Good morning. We got Cheryl, Chris, Cindy, Frank. Georgie is in the house. Good morning to Jay, Jeff, Joe, Kevin, Lou. We got Maris, Martina, Mike is Rob, Tim. Squadron is here. We got all my peeps out in YouTube land. Good morning to Jeffrey, Richard Jet. Richard Jet, I feel like I haven't spoke to you in a while. Hope you're doing good, Richard. Hope you're doing good. But all my lurkers in the background just sitting there, not saying nothing, not going to comment all day. It's okay. I still love you, but you can put a comment in. Otherwise, you can also hit that like and subscribe button. Clarice, good morning. Unfolding Dong says K Web. All right, let's get to it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of doing nothing after that pretty crazy Thursday. And now we got that gap up. So good consolidation, nice little gap up. Definitely helps out from I would say MU is a good pusher of the markets. We also had jobless claims that came in today. They essentially came in line, so nothing too crazy with that. But yeah, gapping up on the SPY to all-time highs. So we did it again. We did it again, Bulls. Just keep on rocketing. But I don't know. This let's go to a weekly chart because at least on a weekly chart, this would be a little bit of a retest. Kind of. I mean, it's not really gapping out. Obviously, I've got no levels higher because we haven't been here before. Support if we choose to sell off this rally, 571.48. When was the last time we had a little consolidation? I guess over here we had 3-day consolidation. We gapped up. We did pull back. We never kind of came down to fill that gap. So maybe something like this, another high wave candle up here. Let's see if we can find another decent gap somewhere on the chart. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be continued bullish out of here. Yeah, so here we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days of consolidation. We gapped up. We sold a little bit, had a rally. We put in some more consolidation and then some big candles. Huh. We ended up obviously filling that gap, but it took a while. This might be one of those gaps. This might be one of those gaps. So we'll play it by ear. But to the downside, we have I think 571.57 is going to be some kind of support. Otherwise, it looks like we go higher. I I mean, I don't I don't understand how we don't go higher. The question is, what do we do for the first 15 minutes of the day, though? That's the question. Yeah, Oxy's gapping now. Yeah, anything oil related. There was some. I don't know if it was peace talks, but I guess it was ease of tensions in some of the Middle East. I guess most of that came out kind of yesterday, and you started oil coming down a little bit. Looks like it's continuing this morning. Q's nice little gap up. So this one is a retest gap. We also do have some levels to the higher side, which I could appreciate. You got 495.95 is going to be the next resistance. I got one slightly lower, maybe 495.73. Let me see if I can zoom in. See if we get a little more accurate on that one. 495.63. This is, I mean, incredible gap. I guess our first support would come in. So if we do pull back, essentially yesterday's low, not yesterday's low, the low from July 16th. We start breaking underneath that candle. That would also kind of match up with 493.22 ish, and then maybe we look for. I don't think we fully retest this gap today. The next support after that, if we do sell off, I'm looking for 490.26 to hold, and absolutely incredible gap. So I don't think we fill this today or honestly anytime soon. Barring any black swan out there in the market that we don't know is coming. So really strong gap. Still want to lean bullish. I've got a little protection. Some puts, not many on the SPY. I think I might be. I got so much time on it. I don't know. Maybe I hold them and just counter it with some calls. Maybe we'll do that. But we'll see. We got XO, XOM, XO Mobile. Yeah, lots of Fed speakers today. Yep. Thanks, Clarice. Lots of Fed, including Powell, but I think Powell's pre-recorded. I don't think Powell's actually live today. I think he's pre-recorded, but we do have a lot of Fed speaking today. ExxonMobil is gapping down. It is a retest gap, gapping below the 200, not tremendous. Watch the level we're at now. So I think if we open probably anywhere 112.38, which we are slightly below now, you'd probably see a little bit more sell-off. The other thing too is if we want to rally, this is a retest gap. I think you have your next resistance to the way up, and this might be a better spot to short 112.66. You do have a lot of room still to the downside. That would take me to a 111.20, and then really, really strong support, just kind of coming down, retesting that monster hammer that we had. That would take us into this 110.98 zone. So I think 110.98 is going to be a struggle bust to break through and head lower. If we continue to get positive headlines from war situations, then I think we have the ability to break down and maybe we do end up seeing like a 104 print. Other than that, though, obviously everything oil related is going to be news based. Oxy also has one of those kind of killer gaps. This one's, I think, a little bit more dominant of a gap, though. Still a retest, so maybe we get that buy at open. We're toward the low end of this candle, so I mean we did rally from 49.92 all the way back up to 53, so that was a pretty decent gain. If some bulls are out there looking to kind of replay that same move, they have some risk reward to the bull side. This is also a retest gap. Again, I don't know that the story today is let's rally up oil. So I'm not sure how big this move would be. I think if you're looking to short the first spot, you're trying to short this one, is probably somewhere around 50, 65 if they let you get in there. And then the next spot you're looking is about $50.99. Yesterday's VPOC, for what it's worth, is 51.24 if we do come in for a full on retest. So we'll see how that plays out. But that is a retest gap. You do have slightly better risk to reward to a bull side. So if this thing drops right away, the closer you could get in if you want to try this bullish, closest to the 50 mark as possible. I think that would be your buy spot. Again, it looks weak. It's probably a tough to go long on this one, but that would at least get you a little bit of risk reward if you come down a little bit further. I'm not going to go long probably at the open, but if it does rally, I'll look for a short at a higher price. Let's see. We got KWeb was the next one I saw. KWEB. Do they have earnings? No earnings, but this is a the entire Chinese market was rallying again. I think they said China said they're putting out $154 billion pump into the banks. This one is probably getting the move with it, so it looks like it. Yep. Post-COVID relief rallies have been fast furious, yada yada yada. Yep, this one's moving with the Chinese headline. China. This one has good potential on it. I don't see much really holding us back until probably target up to about 33.67 will be the first one. Bigger target on this one, 34.26. And it depends on where this one opens. If it opens right where it's at now, 32.28, I think this one gets bought up. I'm going to add this one to the list. I wish we had a little bit more room on this one and it wasn't such a massive gap already, to be honest, but it's got some room to the higher side. And if everyone's all pro China, just overnight that changed. So overnight, last week, nobody liked China. This week, everyone's like, yeah, recovery. Um, you got a little bit, so to the downside, or where you want your stops. Your stops probably somewhere 32.18 or below that. So if this thing pulls back a little bit, you want to see that 32.18 hold. If it doesn't, I'm not jumping in there long. I'm just gonna wait. Maybe we get to like 31.86. If that breaks, you got a bigger move to the downside, 31.22 on KWeb. Amazon with a gap in go. I think Shopify had one too. Amazon. We do. We do have a little bit of a gap and go. We also got a little resistance above us, 195.57. We've already messed with that one 2 days ago. Next target up would take me to about 199 and change. I'm gonna leave that one up here. Maybe we could get a little pullback first, get a little bit better risk to reward. Otherwise, I like it. Looks good. Lots of bull volume here. Any of those guys going to take profits? Probably a little too close. I think any of the bulls hopping on this candle, probably looking for that higher move. So let's see if we get a little bit of a pullback. Otherwise, yeah, that looks good. I like NVIDIA. Bryant Williams. Howdy to you too. All right, we got NVIDIA with a gap up, also retest gap. This one I'm a little more concerned with, I think. Two good green days in a row. Nice little breakout. Obviously, momentum is in chips today with MU kind of leading the way. You're opening at a little bit of resistance here, and then I think you got your next targets up to 128, 37-ish. Final target 128.91. So there's still some room if we go real crazy today. I'd be a little bit more cautious on this one going long out of the gate. But there is one I like. There is one I was looking at pre-market chip related that might have some room still, and that is going to be SMCI. We got a 10-to-1 split coming out October 1st, so be aware of that one. Usually, we'll see how that works, but usually we've had bullish moves after the fact that we get the split. So there might be a little bit of opportunity on that one too, just even as a swing. I am in the swing trade room tonight. This is one I might consider. I might look at this one. Otherwise, you have a gap and go still inside day, so maybe get that sell off at open. Maybe the closest we could get to 465.28. I'm a little bit more hesitant at that price because that would also take us below the 20. So maybe we could even get to like 468.10 and we don't ever retest that VPOC zone. Who knows? But there's a gap and go, just inside day. We got a lot of room on this one. First stop, and maybe this is where we max today, 486.60. But I think we could at least get up into this 508.29 and then maybe 548.59. Maybe we have to wait for that split to come in for that one. But this one I think has a little bit more room than NVIDIA, and I think it looks pretty good too. It's not going absolutely crazy. So I do have that one on the list to watch. It looks interesting. AVGO. Good gap on this one too. Like everything else, it's got 4 bullish days in a row, 4 green days in a row. And then we do have a little bit of resistance. I think the stretch target for today, unless we're going to plan on just breaking out all-time highs, which might as well be the plan. Otherwise, 182.61 would be probably the bigger resistance with one more resistance coming in. Not too far away, 180.74. So if you think we stop there, I think we lose a lot of the edge to the bull side as this thing already kind of broke out and ran. If you think this one could get to that 182.82, you still have a decent amount of room on this one. Maybe a little pullback as it is a retest gap. Scoop it as close as possible as 175.44 would be my spot for some kind of bounce. How might jobless claims unexpectedly falling again? Falling effective today. That news, the jobless claims is already out. Yep. So jobless claims that happened at 8:30 this morning. So how you see the market now, that's already the reaction. We didn't really get too much of a reaction from the jobless claims. That would be strong economy, which is what the Fed wants. The Fed wants to keep the rate of employment high at this point, especially as they plan to cut back. I can make a case that would also enhance the inflation factor, which I forgot who it was. Was it Ray Dalio? It might have been Ray Dalio was talking about it years ago, 2 years ago, where there's usually usually what happens with when we start raising rates and then we start cutting them is we get that at first inflation move, then we have to raise the rates, bring the inflation down. As we bring the inflation or the rates down, you get that second wave, which he was talking about that 2, 3 years ago. Usually it happens a lot quicker. But again, we did have rates higher for longer. So that CPI, I think, is going to come back into play eventually into some point. That's I think inflation is one to watch, but that does stem from jobless claims as well. So, but right now the jobless numbers was already released today. So, I think all of what we're looking for right now, I don't think we get any surprises. The only surprise we have is a ton of Fed speakers today. Let's see. Baba looks good for you. Yeah, Baba's with a good gap today too. Probably Baidu, probably JD, probably anything China. But real good gap on this one. We're starting to clear we got all that volume behind us at this point. I think the next stop on this one, whether it's today or not, that's going to be a question. But I got somewhere up into this 111.27 zone is the next bigger spot for this one. But finally clearing that $100 number, and looks like it's still trying to rally. Got a little bit of volume right where we're opening. Let's see, is there any other things that could hold us back? 103.39, maybe. So look for that 103.39. If that breaks, I do have a lot of room higher. And then yesterday we were trying to go short on Baidu. We never got triggered in, thank goodness, because it just kept rallying. Baba actually did that retest while Baidu just kind of blew through that VPOC. So this is where on Baidu, not Baba, but I was looking to go short as close as possible to that VPOC from the day before, as it was probably trying to get some kind of retest inside day. This easily could have fell yesterday, right? That's a good gap and go. This one actually opened below that candle. Anybody in this candle, which is a lot of volume, they were trapped. And instead of selling, which Baba has done over and over and over again, especially recently, the bulls decide to buy it up, and now you get that gap up again. So I do think sentiment's kind of changed on China. I think it's there to stay. If you pump $143 billion into the banks, that's going to say a lot for the economy. But yeah, that looks really good. I think we do continue higher from here, and my targets would be that 111. So lots of room on this one. We'll see how this one plays out. The only thing I'd be worried about is this is a good gap. People that were holding here, they might have been targeting $100. Nice whole number. Now you're breaking above it. So I'm cautiously bullish as a day trade on this one. But if it does pull back, I'm looking for spots to maybe try to get in. Maybe Baba, maybe Baidu, maybe JD. Doesn't have to be specifically Baba. Google. Yeah, and I see AMD out there too. I definitely want to take a look at AMD. Google looks really good. We are tangled up a little bit with some of these moving averages. I got the 100 EMA at 164 back. Next spot on this one, 165.39. That has been a zone we've already messed with. So I think getting above that 100 and even getting above probably from this candle on the Monday, 23rd, we could get above that opening candle price. That would be really strong sentiment, I think, for Google. But we'd have to see a 164.34 print. Otherwise, if we get a pullback, maybe we can actually get a pullback. This market doesn't do that. This market doesn't pull back. What am I talking about? But let's say it's a miracle today, and we could actually get a pullback. Looking for like a 162.97 print, I think would be a good support. Otherwise, I do like it bullish. Bigger target for today. I think big resistance on it, 165.94 if we're taking away those kind of moving averages. So that still gives us about $2 to the higher side. We'll see. Man, we got a lot of tickers today. Let me take a look at AMD real quick. So AMD has some room to the bull side. I think that would take us to 176.79 on an extremely good day. We could get caught up in this zone for sure. But what I like the most is I got my high volume zone somewhere around 165.74. That would have been a good resistance. We're above it. So if we start to sell off, if we could get a little pullback, I would like to see how we hang around this 165.75 zone. But even a high wave candle, as much of a decent gap this is already, I've got bigger targets for this gap fill, and that still takes me about $10, about $9 higher. About $9. I'll call it 10 because it sounds fun. But lots of room still on this one. Let's see if we get a high wave candle. Small high wave candle would be good. Doesn't have to be big. But AMD, we got to get up there too. I think we got some more momentum. Keep in mind, retest gap. Other than that, though, Twilio. Twilio looks good for a swing trade. That it does. I think a day trade too. Day trade could get us to about 64, 64. Swing trade, I think the next stop at least 65, 75, and then we'd have this gap fill up here. 69.22. That looks inverted head and shoulders on a daily. Yeah, we're gonna watch this one today. I wouldn't mind setting it as a swing, but I only hosted the afternoon room, the swing room today. That's later today. I'm gonna have nothing to talk about if I take this one as a swing now. But we'll see. We'll see how this one plays out today. I would actually be interested in a day trade. No, I'm not sure volume on this one, and there might be some better names. Other than that, though, I think it looks kind of really good. I'm with you on that. Uh, QCOM. Let me know if you set that as a swing, Lucian. We got QCOM, and if it does fade today, if Twilio fades today, and we get a lower price, I might actually like it. During the day, we can set that up. QCOM, not bad. Again, next resistance. How strong that resistance is, I don't know, but 175.15, that might be where we get held for today. We've had that resistance from here. We got through it back here. We just kind of failed. Bigger target on QCOM would be 179.05. Actually, probably slightly lower. Maybe 177.97. Let's get this one up there too. Let's get this one up there as well. Again, we will have to deal with that 100 EMA. We could break it. Then I think we got that 177.82. I did not do Nike, but Nike is a good gap too. I didn't see any news on this one. They do have earnings coming out soon, so earnings are October 1st. Got a great gap up. Watch that 200 though. You got the 200 EMA right in front of your face. And some volume starting to come in. So I think to the higher side on this one, if we want to be, hey, bullish everything, watch for like look for $91.77. So I probably wouldn't take this one ahead of earnings. That being said, everything ahead of earnings does get that little bit of a rally. So we will see. I'm worried about that 200. That might could be a little rejection spot if we do pull back. You got some support now that we are gapping above. So 89.14. I think the closest I could get to 89.14 for an entry, the better. Otherwise, I don't know. I just don't want to chase that one for me. Let's see. CMG. CMG. Chipotle. Good gap. I'd see if this one could pull back a little bit too. If I take this one, 58.40 would be my entry. Target 59.55. If we get through that, which we probably eventually could. I don't know about today. But next target up would take me at 61.13. So it's got some room to the higher side. A little bit of a tighter range, I think. Spotify, yeah, they were at 52-week high yesterday, I think. Correction today as well. Gapping up to 52-week high. All-time high as well today. All-time high. Looks like we're opening right at it. So opening at all-time high, retest gap, good run. I think you're Your better bet would be either a high wave candle, something red hammer at the first 3 minute print, 5 minute print, something you could take a break above because there's no resistance above it. Minus $400, which would be a good psychological hold number. Other than that, if you want to try it long, see if you get a fade down to like 385.12 ish. But strong move on Spotify. We were looking at this 250 range. Amateurs, we should have got in there and just all went on vacation. All right, let's see what else we got. Tesla. Tesla. Tesla, beautiful looking gap up. I think they have their Robo conference coming up soon. Not sure what date that is. You also have earnings coming out on Tessie at October 16th. You're starting to get into the spot. You could get some double tops. First point of resistance at least 262.33. The next one up 264.94. This is also a retest gap too. So I guess I'd kind of be patient on this one. Keep in mind, what was it, 3 4 weeks ago? We were sitting at $200, 203. So this is a big move. Lots of people profitable. You're above all of that key volume, so there's nothing telling me we gotta stop. If you're bullish, I mean, it still looks good, but maybe be patient out of the gate. I'd still look for opportunities to buy the dips. Palantir PLTR. Retests down a little from all-time high. Yeah, this one probably still goes. I like this location a lot. We just built in a good support from the last 2 days, so anything that starts breaking, I'd say 3704. You'd want to be cautious. Maybe you could get a little bit of a bigger pullback. Right now, decent gap. I'd see if this one could pull back into that 3710 zone, 3710, 3704. See if that wants to bounce from there. Next target up would take me back to that $38 mark, 3802. And then obviously we have a really good bullish trend. And with MU moving today, all tech stocks moving today, chip stocks moving today, AI stocks moving today, it's probably a decent continuation for Palantir, but it's got to hold that 37 mark. So the closer you can get, the better risk to reward. This says just a heads up, I'm having trouble with my drawings on TradingView. I have a notice that they're doing maintenance. Spotify gave me a little notification. It was there. I saw a little question mark when I was up, or exclamation point when I was up there. But right now, ooh, even I randomly clicked Dell, but Dell's up there too. Also retest gap. Airlines are moving today too. Everything's moving, but that is the morning bell. So everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Be safe out there. It's does look bullish, but see if there's any of those retests. We seem to have stumbled upon a bunch of them. So but I think we continue. Otherwise, hit that like and subscribe button. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys later.